is the final edition of the Parade of Traditional Costumes here in Trinidad and Tobago. This is the day that all the main characters and iconic figures of the carnival come out in this party of color, music, and also this joy. This is the way we start Carnival Times, a show for Telesur English. I'm your host, Gladys Quesada, and now we start knowing about another story of Carnival from around our continent. Let's see.
Port of Spain officially welcomes Carnival with the Lluvia, a party that breaks the silence of the early morning. After the Trinidadian emancipation in 1834, the Lluvia, which translates from the French as the dawn of a new day, heralds the fun of these 2 days before the religious celebration of Lent. Both the Lluvia and the Carnival are conquests of their ancestors before the abuses of the British masters. That is why they keep and enjoy them as their own right.
Oh yeah. Juve is an integral part of Carnival. This is where the Bacchanal rail starts.
It's part of my culture, so we partake in it. And plus, if you go back in history, it's a part of a rebellious kind of action against what we were experiencing and still experiencing today.
Many of them do a pilgrimage behind the bands, turning the city into a sort of archipelago of itinerant parties. These trucks provide music, security, food, and drink to those who hire their services.
Well, this is Juve morning, and we normally play with Friends for the Road. My whole family played Friends for the Road, right? And we just love Friends for the Road, and this is Friends for the Road outfit. And we come here on Carnival Monday to have a good time, to be safe, and to enjoy ourselves.
Partygoers cover themselves with mud, cocoa with oil, or pigments. Their ancestors did so in order to protect themselves from the sun the next morning or from mosquitoes. This tradition is still maintained.
The band is Cocoa Devils, so you go and you get covered in cocoa.
Juve is a festival, so we get a little messy, right? We throw mud, paint, oil, chocolate, all kind of stuff. So you don't want to get it in your hair, especially if you've got to play mass on Monday, Tuesday, to cover yourself up, protect your phone. You don't want water damage. There might be a water truck. So just really cover yourself up and have a little bit of fun.
The hullabaloo decreases but does not cease with the dawn. Seeing the spoils, it seems the streets of Port of Spain have witnessed a battle, but one of colors and movement. With the rising of the sun, the Lluvia dissolves, and so the real carnival begins. For Telesur, as special envoy to Trinidad and Tobago, Gladys Quesada.
One of the main characteristics of this parade is the loyalty of everyone to a band. Yes, they come in here and assemble a group, choose the costumes and the topic, and finally they gather to parade. This and other features are the main joys of the carnival and the beauty of this festivity. Let's go to see other story.
In Carnival Time, one of the most representative neighborhoods and that provides with its characters, creativity and folklore is the town known as Barrio Abajo. Here, Telesur meet the group of comparsa Socuma Dance, whose members are preparing with their makeup and dresses for the big parade of comparsas along Via 40, spreading with their expression of dance, music and other artistic creation, whose court honors the Afro spirit.
Well, the name means in the north of Nigeria dance, and in the south passion. It took me time to find a name to connect with what we are expressing. Dancing as a legacy to the African race, because what we do has to do with work, beliefs, everything we express in the comparsa. My intention is to make comparsa a real African comparsa.
Their final act will take place here in front of more than 5,000 spectators in one of the most attractive moving shows of the Barranquilla Carnival, giving its color, strength and performance with the participation of 112 folkloric groups, including traditional and fantasy groups, such as this company that pays homage to a well-known human rights activist with its comparsa.
Miriam Makeba was an African woman, activist, who fought for the freedom of African people, and we wanted to pay tribute to her. It's called the Montage Makeba, a sunset in freedom, in tribute to Miriam Makeba.
After being in this colorful and folkloric act, in the evening Telesur went to the most important activity of oral tradition in this carnival, the litanies.
Para las justas deportivas, pero embolató el billete. Se gastó el billete con lo...
Activity that with funny verses gives an overview of the social and political reality of the country and the world.
Cuando era señorita, lo que le daban era brocha. Ella vivió siempre engañada hasta que salió preñada.
Son versos con mucha picardía.
Litanies are verse with a lot of double meaning, with the joy that represents the Carnival of Barranquilla. The litanies have been for many years, and we are in charge of making them look like many chorus, and that everything goes according to the words we say.
This closes the third day of folkloric festivities in Barranquilla, now in its last day of pagan festivities. The streets of La Arenosa will say goodbye to the carnival with the funeral honors.
And just for you to know, there is no limit to take part in this parade. You can be from anywhere in the world, have any skin color, you can have any background, any origin, any gender, and you could be here taking part in this beautiful and this gorgeous parade. This is the reality of the carnival. This is integration. This is coming together for the rejoiceful of being alive. That is the motto of the carnival. And from this party, let's go to another one. Let's see what has to say other of my colleagues.
Paula es educadora.
Paula is an educator, but at carnival time, she becomes a dress worker and her house into a sewing workshop for a month. Every night before the carnival, a production line that manufactures the dresses and outfits with feathers, glitter, and lights for the parade. For more than 20 years, she has made fantasies, because every carnival has its fantasy.
They're icons like the Madamas, the Mediapintas. Among them are also the fantasies. We are within that line.
Cosen a mano los diseños.
They sew by hand the design that were custom made for each fantasy parade participant.
The process of taking the measure, choose the pattern, the selection of the fabric. When the cutting table is done, we cut, I assemble the piece, and from here they go to the ornament and decoration room.
Los cascos también son hechos.
The helmets are also carefully made, and each one is assigned to the dancers afterward. They will be decorated with lights. Peacocks, feathers, and everything needed to achieve the aim of making them look elegant and opulent. The final stage is the decoration with sequins, glitter, and 35 costumes for 35 people on a stage. Going unnoticed is not the goal.
We are in charge of decorating each of the suits. The one this year is a jumpsuit. The sewing comes from there, and we are in charge of designing, attaching, and also the overlay. Then we color beads. Thank God we have a pretty big team, and we have the team of the People's Queen, who helps us too. Our real work is to decorate and beautify every one of the things used by the people who dress in the Calvario fantasies.
A little dancer shows us the final result.
We are artisans. We start from scratch. We make everything, we build everything. We are the artisans. We go from the initial sketch making, creating, assembly, until we have a final result.
Pero los trajes no adquieren
But the
vida.
costumes do not come to life until they are on stage, on the street, amidst the loud music and in the enthusiasm of the collective dance, accepting photographs and praise from friends and strangers. Paula is satisfied. The Callao Carnival has its fantasy.
Excellent. We always thank God we have a good receipt. And year after year we have exceeded the expectations, and this is another step ahead of us. I have goosebumps seeing this. This is what I was talking to you about. Seeing this creation, really, Really, I don't even have words.
Esta comparsa homenajea a
This comparsa pays tribute to Elda Marskman, one of the cultural references of Callao, who died in 2020, a promoter of Calypso. She participated in the fantasy parades, promoted the carnival and its history. In every fantasy parade, they also tribute her work.
Leonel Retamal y Marcos da Silva, Telesur, Estado Bolívar, Venezuela.
This parade takes 1 year to get done because all of the production, all the color, the costumes, and the order they have to put. But that doesn't matter. It's totally worth it for the people of Trinidad and Tobago because this is their iconic and identity. This is what they are: party, carnival, and joy. From here, I'm announcing other of the stories of Carnival from the Caribbean and Latin American countries. Let's see.
This table contains the evolution of almost a century of devil masks.
This carnival is not only from the colonial period, as understood since the appearance of the Virgin Our Lady of the Socavón in 1739, but it is a process that may come before.
La Diablada is the origin of the Oruro Carnival. Its root predates Spanish colonialism. The Urus worshipped Andean deities like the sun, the moon, lightning. They had Huari, a sorcerer who guided them towards evil and hatred. But in Yusta, a young girl made them see their mistake.
Wari,
who had personified himself in a sorcerer to teach them the path of evil, hate, sorcery. Once the Urus disobey Wari, Wari gets angry and that's why he sends them these plagues.
Defeated, Huari was sent to the depths of the earth, where he is revealed as the uncle of the mine.
He is the owner of the veins. We ask him with our respect day by day to take care of us, to give us a good ore, good veins. With our respect, we are entering your house so that you take care of us, because in mining, you don't know if when you go in, you are going to come out again.
On Carnival Friday, tribute is paid to the uncle of the mine, the devil. They invite him alcohol, coke, and cigars that consumes with pleasure. Outside, white flames are sacrificed, which have their still beating heart removed and thrown into the drains.
These original indigenous who were not miners, forcibly converted into miners, decide to make their own god with the mud from the mine, which is very wet. The clay from the mine they make a figurine, but in human form.
Spanish colonialism prohibited indigenous rights to its deities. Then they rescued them and took the advantage of them to evangelize. They changed Wari for the devil, and the young Yusta for the Virgin of Candelaria, who sent the Archangel Gabriel to fight the demons, defeated them, and confined them to the depths of the earth.
This pilgrimage is a promise to offer through dance our gratitude, our strengthened faith in the love for the Virgin, happy to get to your feet.
Here, angels and demons dance together and prostrate before the image of the Virgin of the Socavón.
We left up 2 in the morning and now it is 8 in the morning. If I'm not wrong, and with faith, we have arrived at the feet of the Virgin.
There are 20 dances that are exhibited in the Oruro Carnival. This year, the parade was launched for 24 hours. More than 50,000 dancers and 20,000 musicians participated, and more than 300,000 tourists. The Oruro Carnival is a masterpiece of the oral and intangible heritage of humanity.
And like this, with this hot day, this midday sun, but also these warm people and this beautiful parade, we are saying goodbye to this emission of Carnival Times. I'm your host, Gladys Quesada. Remember to follow us in our socials. And yes, we are saying goodbye, but just for now, bye-bye.